A story about John D. Rockefeller. And at the time that John D. Rockefeller died in 1937, he was the richest man alive. Now, what's interesting, he was kind of the first oil tycoon, but what's interesting about John D. Rockefeller is at the time of his death, his particular company accounted for one out of every $30 that was generated in the U.S. economy. Now, what that means, if we put it in terms that we could understand today, what that means is if you would take the amount of wealth that he had and compare it in today's terms, he would be 10 times more wealthy than Bill Gates. So when we put it in perspective, this guy had everything. Well, it was interesting when he died in 1937, there was a cartoonist that presented a column in the paper asking the question that everyone was asking when they heard that he died. And in that cartoon, it had the little question mark in a picture portraying his death. And the question was simply this: how much did he leave? I mean, this is the wealthiest guy alive. How much did he leave behind? Was he a billionaire? Did he leave millions behind? We kind of Google that stuff today. How much are they worth? How much did they leave behind? Well, the next frame captured it and puts it in perspective, because the next frame of the cartoon simply said, he left it all. He left it all. He didn't carry anything with him. You and I understand when we see it from that perspective that the reality is we don't own anything. And when we think we do, and when we think we have accomplished much, and when we think we have accumulated a lot, the real question we need to ask is, well, how much will you owe or own, say 100 years from now? We can't take it with us. And so David says, this is what you need to understand. God owns everything. Now listen to me. You're going to understand over the next few weeks how important this is, but this is life-changing. If you come to understand that God owns everything, there is a freedom there. There is a freedom there that you and I can embrace, because if God owns everything, I don't have to worry about all this stuff.